Alright guys, today I'm unboxing this Kings of War Mhorgoths Revenge fantasy battle set. It's huge. Look at that. Full of goodness. It's actually quite heavy as well. Let's get rid of that. Check all of that plastic out. There's loads. There's tons. So anyway, let's get all these boring bits out of the way. So, Kings of War leaflet, it's the same as what was in the Dwarf King's Hold, just a little bit of a guide into what's going on. You get, well, I got this, but I think you're meant to get two. You're meant to get one for the undead, one for the dwarves. Unfortunately, I've only got the one for the the undead. But this is basically, it's really nice stock paper. It folds out to be a giant poster. On the back is all sorts of, like, you know, undead related assembly instructions and, you know, bit of fluff for the undead player. It's meant to be a dwarf one, but mine doesn't have it, but meh. It's not the be all or end all. So next we have a army list for each of the two armies. I've been over this and I was a bit I noticed on the dwarfs it says shield breaker troop cost, and it's, you know, giving you some stats for that, and I thought these army lists for what was in the box, but so I was like, oh, where's my shield breakers? Well, it turns out that, you know, you don't get shield breakers in this, but this is kind of like the complete army list. But then they have a more up-to-date version of these on Mantic's website anyway, so, you know, don't really need it, but it's there. What else? Oh, I got all of these Mantic points. Now I'm not even sure if I was meant to get this many Mantic points with this set. I think online I saw it was only meant to come with 2, but I've got 8. So if that was just because it was on sale or whatever, I don't know. It's cool. I'll be using them. And last but not least, you get a nice printed leaflet, not book, but leaflet of the rules. And when I say leaflet, this is, you know, that's it. There's the bottom, blah 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 blah. It's double-sided, but, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 pages. 12 pages of rules, and that is all you need to play this game. I read this rule book so many times. I read it online. I've downloaded it, and now I've got a printed version of it. And, you know, it's just dead simple. I'll do a review of this. I'll get some games played maybe, but I can, you know, I'd like to do a review of just the rules as written, without actually playing any of the games, because it's such a simple and elegant system. You can actually, you know, discern quite a lot from just reading them. But anyway, enough about that. Look at all that. It's physically heavy enough to warp the box if I don't hold it properly. You get some dice in here as well, but basically you just get hundreds and hundreds of these base sprues, so, you know, they're not that important, they're all the same. But I tried to sort them out, but picking it up and whatnot just sort of muddles it around. But basically, here is the Iron Belcher, I think it's called. The Dwarf Iron Belcher, or Organ. What was it called? The Organ Gun. So you can build whichever one you want. There's the organ part, and then, you know, if you want to do just the Iron Belcher, there's the cannon. So you can build, you know, the one. It's dead simple little sprue, and that comes obviously with the crew sprue, which I now have 2 of because of the mispacking of the Dwarf King's Hold. But again, the quality is spot on with them. In fact, you know, I've looked at all these. The quality is just amazing. There's really, I can't see any problem areas. It's just going to be straight clipping, minimal cleanup work, and, you know, just gluing it all together, ready for a paint job. And there's going to be a lot to paint, but basically you get a crap load of dwarfs and a crap load of skeletons. You get over 100 models in this set. 100 models for £35 it was, and that was before, you know, that's before the discount, the 15% off as well. You know, just amazing. Here's some of the skeletons. You can get a good look at them. The detail on them is just amazing. These and the weapons and swords as well. They're like stupidly thin. It's like, you know, I'd be worried they might have broke really easy, just being packed the way they were, just shoved in the box with no sort of padding. But no, they're like, all the spears are just dead thin, and like the weapons are almost sharp, but they're still all there. Nothing's broken. You know, and you get these really nice fine details. You know, you don't get that kind of chunky, cartoony look like other miniatures look like. Zombies are, what a brilliant sprue this is. So each sprue accommodates 3 zombies, but actually you can make a 4th. So you're meant to have 15 zombies in this set, but if you use this one here, which is the one that's like bursting out of the ground, little base sprue there. Hang on. It's like intestines and all sorts there. It's like the detail's really good, but you can use that. There's enough torsos. I think there's enough. 1, 2, 3. Oh, perhaps not actually. But if you do some sort of, you know, because they're zombies, you get a bit of artistic license. You can sort of use some spare torsos you might have, or just use arms and heads. You can basically almost get another zombie off each sprue, which puts your total up to 20 zombies. And there's plenty of bases. There's more bases than you actually need, so that, you know, you can do it. You can get another 5 zombies out of this, which is kind of a bargain. And even if you don't use them as in the unit, you keep the 15-man unit, you can use these as wound counters for the game. So you get loads of them. You get loads of these as well, which are the ghoul sprues. So these are the more, some of the more dynamic posed units of the undead, and they're just brilliant. Look at them. Look at those arms, and they're brilliant. Really happy with them. Can't wait to put them together. You get a undead war machine, war engine, if I can find it. Here it is, and its crew. So the crew is just like a normal set of skellies, but there you go. It's a bit more complicated than the what's it called? The undead balefire catapult. And you get a little crew as well with it. So it's a bit more complicated, but, you know, it looks the business. It's kind of, you know, it's just more pieces. It's not complicated. So that's one thing that doesn't really come. There's not much in assembly instructions. I mean, there's the ones in the leaflet, but everything else is kind of almost, you've just got to use a bit of common sense when putting them together. But again, you can always go on the website, I guess, and get help or see how other people have done it. Here's a ironclad sprue, and you get loads of these. It's 5 dwarfs per sprue, and although they're all the same, you know, because of the way the sprues are made, and there's so many accessories and so many extra bits, you know, you can get the variation just by depending on what you arm them with and what you know, how you pose them, what heads you match with what torsos when they're split and stuff. So, you know, people have said that, oh, you know, all the sprues are the same, I want to have enough difference between all the units. Well, you know, this game's about mass battles anyway. You're going to be fielding so much, you know, there's going to be a bottleneck of how much you can vary stuff, but, you know, there is enough scope there. And you get loads of these. These are just the, what are they? These are the Iron Watch. So these can have crossbows, which are here, tiny little fiddly detailed things, but you know, they look good. And then, you know, you can have rifles as well. I'll probably do them with rifles. Myself personally. So yeah, and you just get loads. Look, just tons of plastic. You know, physically heavy. £35. This is for over 100 miniatures. You know, what is that? You're paying like 35p a miniature or something like that. That's phenomenal value. I mean, yeah, just, and the fact that it's a complete set, it's everything really. I bet the only thing you really need is a tape measure, and you can essentially build all these and play a game. And the rules are just elegant and simple, and you know, really looking forward to doing this. Well, I'm looking forward to playing the game. Painting them, I'm going to have to come up with some new method of speed painting or something, or just try it, because I don't speed paint. I tend to take my time and never get things done because I'm trying too hard. But these guys, I think I'm going to have to force myself to come up with a quick but effective method of painting up 100 things so we can get a game on. But yeah, chuffed to bits with this. Absolutely chuffed to bits. Absolute tons. Keep you busy for ages. So yeah, couldn't recommend this more. If you want to try out Kings of War, or you just, as a game, which I think, I'd like to see more people do. I'd like to start seeing battle reports for this, because I think it's a great system. I've read the rules over and over and over, and I just can't keep getting over the fact that this is so elegant and so simple, yet there's depth and enough variation in there. And so yeah, I can't wait to play, and I can't wait to paint these fantastic miniatures up. I'll have to do some videos of me doing that, and yeah, get it if you haven't got it already. It's cheap. You get loads of stuff. You can use them in whatever games you want. You can use them with Kings of War, whatever. Anyway, any comments or advice or questions for me would be greatly appreciated, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, take it easy. Bye bye.